What went wrong with the Planning Commission? The Planning Commission was started in 1950 as a non-constitutional body with the task of allocating India's scarce resources across sectors and regions. It was supposed to play 5 key roles. First was the formulation of the 5-year plan that would provide a framework for orderly and well-rounded development. Second was deciding how the government should intervene in terms of policies and schemes and how much money each scheme would get. Third, appraising each scheme to see if it fits with the plan and there is an optimal use of resources. Fourth, monitoring and evaluating each scheme to ensure that it was being properly implemented. And fifth, acting as a mediator between different ministries and between states. Over time, each of these functions has been called into question. The 5-year plan, which determined the allocation of resources, was rendered nearly obsolete by the economic reforms of 1991, when the balance of resources shifted to the private sector. In modern India, therefore, planning over a period of 5 years seems archaic, because firstly, in the dynamic and volatile economy, targets and projections change very fast. Secondly, the nature of government intervention has completely changed from when the Planning Commission first started. In its first 19 years, the Planning Commission outlined a vision for India's development and allocated funds directly to each state on a discretionary basis. Times were different then because almost all states were ruled by the Congress. By 1967, it was clear that this had to stop. Different states had elected different governments, which were not aligned with the center, and accusations of favoritism were beginning to emerge. A more objective system was needed to transfer money to states, and it was devised by D.R. Gadgil, an economist appointed as the deputy chairman by Indira Gandhi. The Gadgil-Mukherjee formula was introduced in 1969. It made the Planning Commission allocations subject to a criteria: state's population, tax receipts, per capita income, and special needs were taken into account to decide which states needed more assistance. Over time, though, the bulk of central assistance went not as direct transfers but through centrally sponsored schemes which were funded by the center and had to be implemented by the states. The problem was that someone had to monitor the spending of central funds, and this again put the Planning Commission in direct conflict with the states. Chief ministers disliked coming to the Planning Commission every year to spell out how much progress was being made and asking for funds from bureaucrats who were not elected as representatives. As the number of central schemes increased to a total of 137 at present, the process of appraising and monitoring these schemes became the Planning Commission's most time-consuming work, and it expanded the bureaucratic setup, which is supposed to be more than 1200 within the Planning Commission itself. In effect, instead of being an open platform for the exchange of ideas and a microeconomic outlook, Yojana Bhavan had become a set of parallel departments, with all the problems of Indian bureaucracy. Planning Commission also started doing appraisal reports of big infrastructure projects, including joint ventures. This caused conflict among ministries and between ministries and Planning Commission. The future role for the proposed Niti Aayog. Though the Planning Commission is gone, there is broad consensus that a leaner and more focused guiding body is still needed to chart India's future. Planners felt that there is a need for a strategic body, staffed by experts that could map larger trends and provide inputs to government and industry about the shape that India's economy should take. Basically, the body should be like a super think tank, not governed by the 5-year time frame. This body could think in a more broad manner, like interlink age of rivers or bullet trains, IT hubs, sugar mills, or 100 smart cities. It is felt that any new body should play a major role in mediating between the ministries. Economists feel that there is a need for a body that tracks long-term targets. Planning could be more useful if it is a decentralized exercise that works from the ground level to monitor programs.